glad to have you join us on Asset Television News. I am Eugenia Solomon. Following the nationwide protest led by the Take It Back movement and other civil society organizations aimed at drawing attention to the alleged misuse of the Cybercrime Act, the worsening economic hardship in the country, and what organizers have described as a state of emergency in Rivers State, the police in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, today blocked major routes in the city center. While Asset Television went to town, commuters were seen stranded at major junctions, waiting to board vehicles to their various locations. The planned protest, which also coincided with the police National Day celebrations, made the authority to not to take chances for any breakdown of law and order in the nation's capital, especially within the three-arm zone of the city. Meanwhile, despite the police blockade of the major routes leading to the city center as a result of the nationwide protest led by the Take It Back movement, demonstration was, however, held in Abuja along the Unity Fountain Road. Posting a video in one of his social media handle, social activist Omoyele Showere and his comrades can be seen protesting in the streets of Abuja. Also in the video, Showere and the protesters can be seen being confronted by the police. Omoyele Showere had this to say during the protest today.
We are here today because we have told the Tinubu regime that we will not accept the laws that curtail our fundamental human rights. We express ourselves. Now, the police are aware that we have a march today. They said they have their own program today as well. But we have told them that their program cannot stand in the way of our own march. And we have told them that we are going to the National Assembly. If they like, let them mobilize and join us. In fact, we have told policemen in Nigeria that it is time for the police and the people to work together so that they can improve their own life conditions as well and their working conditions. Nigerian policemen are the worst paid in the world. But they keep killing the same people who are fighting for them. We are not going to accept that anymore. While we are here, Tinubu is busy enjoying himself in France. We are not going to stay back in our country where an absentee president is censoring our rights. And we have told them also that the IGP of police that is leading the program today at Eagle Square is an illegal IGP of police. He must leave after 60 years. You must go! 5 years of being in power. That is the essence of our march today.
Well, some residents of FCT have differed on the need for national protest by group or individuals. A resident, Niyi Busari, says protests are needed in order to draw the attention of the government to the myriad of issues confronting the masses.
Protest is being observed anywhere in the world. Is the fundamental right to citizens who think one or two things that federal government or any government or state government do are not too good for them. Going by this Tinubu-led government, it's been things has not been rosy as it was, even when many of us believe we are going to see the turnaround, having gone through 8 years under APC led by the first term of APC, 8 years led by former military president, that's General Muhammadu Buhari, retired. The first thing he did when he was even sworn in right here was to announce the increment in the price of fuel. And don't forget that this is a sensitive item that if increased affect every aspect and everything will go up astronomically. If it is increased 20%, 10%, it will be understandable. But in a situation whereby a price is increased from 170 naira per liter to almost 1,000 naira, that's too much and it's unbearable. Everything increased, including the house rent, the school fees, name it. Even the staple food. To even take a cup of garri now will cost you nothing less than 500 naira. The price of 2 plates of food before it comes in. You can see the increment, the income is not as much as the expenses. You are still earning as much as you were earning 4 or 5 years ago. Why things has increased almost 200%? How do you manage this? I pity those who had more than 2-3 children, and the children are in school. How do you cope with it before you pay school fees, before you pay your house rent, before you buy everyday food to feed the family? I think if protest can solve this such that the federal government have a rethink and reduce some of these policies, change some of these policies and leading to reduction in prices of goods and services, I think it's a good way to protest.
Well, another FCT resident, Oladipo Rotimi, disagreed, saying planned protest will lead the citizens nowhere, adding that the president should be given time to see through his transformative policies.
If you know this, our president very well, no, according to from history, no protests that take place when he was a governor in Lagos State. I don't think any protest would strive, because he is always ahead of those who are going to protest. So he's not a person that waited for things to happen. It makes things happen. So that's the kind of governor we are. Yes, the country may be very hard. Good, it's very hard. But the government too are working hard to make it easy. So let us be patient. All those who are making noise, if they are there in the government, they can't do more than what this man is doing. That is it.
Well, operatives of Nigeria Police Force dispersed protesters with tear gas in the Maitama area of Abuja. The protesters, who had gathered peacefully to express their grievances, were thrown into disarray as tear gas canisters sent many scampering for safety. The protest, which is part of a nationwide demonstration spearheaded by the Take It Back movement and other civil society organizations, began earlier in the day to draw attention to several national issues. Key among the concerns raised by the organizers are the worsening economic hardship in the country and what they described as a state of emergency in Rivers. The demonstrators carried placards bearing inscriptions such as "Stop the Repression" and "Let us breathe" as they marched through the streets of the Federal Capital Territory. Meanwhile, Rivers State protesters used a rally to demand for Fubara's return as governor, as they all agreed that his suspension was under high power politics. The Take It Back coordinator in Rivers State said the security personnel dispersed lots of people who had come out for the protest.
Our grievances is number one thing is the repeal of the Cybercrime Act, and as Rivers people, we are here to speak against the unconstitutional removal of our elected governor and the Rivers State House of Assembly. We are here to demand a government for the people of Rivers State, because as it stands now, we are without government. This government in Rivers State is alien to our people.
I must say, we came out this morning to demand for good governance. We came out this morning to...
A protester said what happened during the protest was an affront to democracy, which was against what was preached by the president during his campaign.
I must say, we came out this morning to demand for good governance. We came out this morning to demand for the repeal of the Cybercrime Act. And we came out also to demand that democratic processes should be returned back to Rivers State. And what they did was, on the instruction of whomever, the president or whoever, they gave an instruction and they came, shot at us, threw tear gas at us, even arrested the channel's reporter. Let me say this, that nobody is more in Nigerian than the other. Nobody is more in Nigerian than the other. If you're holding any office, you're only privileged to hold that office. I must say...
Coordinator for PILEX Center for Civic Education Courage Isrimovu said the state was not at war when the state of emergency was declared. According to him, the state's economic sabotage, which was a security, I beg your pardon, the coordinator for PILEX Center for Civic Education Courage, Esrimovu, said the state was not at war when the state of emergency was declared. According to him, the state's economic sabotage was a security matter when a security matter was needed to be addressed. While President Community for Youth Development in the Niger Delta, Stanley Kwasiru, urged Nigerians to condemn military dictatorship in its entirety. With that story, we end the news. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms for more updates and programs. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Eugenia Solomon. Thank you for watching.